So in this bit, if you get sitting here, right over the elbow, you get off them. Right, off you go. Now the course has started. Right, now what happens is the element of surprise. You don't know what to expect. What are you going to do? You can't do anything. What the whole point of the technique, you just don't know what's going to happen. Is that right? Yes? Sorry, did you get a fight there? Right, what did I say before? What do people do? The Raptors, Jurassic Park. One person goes, what are you looking at? And the other kid goes, smack. Yes? Spit, blow air at them. Yes? You can even... I'm not going to talk about kissing boys, but I had a friend that's in the... he's in the military. And we're in a pub and he decided, he goes, John, if I got you in this lock, but he goes, John, if I put you in this lock, how'd you get out? So I kissed him on the cheek. He's like, that's disgusting! I can't believe you do that! Because he's a manly man that's in the forces, that's a man's a man. He eats Yorkies and stuff for breakfast. Yeah? And he was devastated that I kissed him on the cheek. He goes, he asked us what I do, he didn't say he'd like it. Yeah? It's out of the ordinary. Yeah? All I've done there is spat at him and palmed him in the jaw where you hit him. Anything you want to do after that? Yes? Testicles. Just remember. Yes? So, if you notice I put my palm of my hand on there so I could use a strike if I needed to, if his hands come up on reflex. Yes? I'll do one more. I could. There. Yes? These are all basic. These aren't anything new. You just get told you're not allowed to do them. Ooh, don't be doing that thing. What did you say? Fucking succotash. Yes? Spit, slap, right? Even if you look at it, it's an escape route. Yeah? Formally waiting for your uppercut. Yes? Off you go. What I'm going to do is put you under psychological pressure. Every time I say now, you're going to slap spar with your partner. Slap in the legs, slap in the face, slap in the body, slap wherever you want, but just a slap. Bum, 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 as many as you can, right? Then I'm going to shout a technique, and you're going to do the technique. The technique will be choke or strike. The strike is going to be any of the strikes that you've done, with the spit, with the palm, with the hand. Yeah, do not render anyone unconscious. If you render anyone unconscious, when they come round, they can knock you out with the same technique. If they can't, I know somebody who can. Yes, so be respectful with it. The slap movement is to disorientate you, like being in a fight for a lot longer than you think. Sometimes fights you think you've been in for hours and it's been 30 seconds. In some fights you've been in for 30 seconds and it's like the same thing. Sometimes you get a time distortion on everything you're doing. What I'm doing is creating a time distortion, then creating a technique. Then a time distortion, then creating a technique. I'm not going to make you ground grapple today, because it's another way of doing it, where you're gassed and adrenal. Yes? I'm just going to make you do that. Yeah? What I might ask you to do is clinch and movement and round. Just grab a hold of each other, pull each other around. Don't pull anyone over so no one hurts themselves. It's for the same reason. Right? And then I'll stop you, make you try and collect your faculties again, and make you do a technique. The technique is affected by the adrenal. Please do not kill anybody during the technique portion of this. Is that alright? Right. Slap spar, go. Please get up. Preferably not using your hands. What I would like to do in the whole of my life is get this point over. You never get off the floor, training or otherwise, this way. If I get over this way, David would do that to many people. Yes? Allegedly, officer. Yes? I don't want you to use your hands to get up. I would like you to get up using your cover of your hands. If you turn over, people that don't even know you would come over and kick you because you ruined their night. I've seen people get stamped on for no apparent reason because they pissed the person off that they fought next to them. That didn't even have anything to do with the fight. But they took that great opportunity to work on their hard man image by the person that was in a prone position that they stamped on the head. So that and he stamped on his head. He's so hard. He's not. He's a dick. I should keep that in, you know. Alright? So this time, when you get up, slap, spar, the next portion of the technique, you've got to line up in verbal tennis. There's no striking in this bit. So you've got to go to your verbal tennis. Your adrenal pitch will be a little bit through the roof. That's a good time. Alright? So now you've got to control it. So you get up, you slap, spar, then I'll say verbal tennis. With your partner, be as dominant as you can, and do not touch them. Ready? Go! Slap, spar! Why did you? Everyone's there. You didn't know what to do. Everyone starts giving it more because the adrenal pitch is where you wanted it to be. That's exactly when a fight starts. Has anyone been into a nightclub and go, let's have a chat outside, and you go, nice quiet moment, and you go, hey, how are you doing? It's been great, hasn't it? And somebody that picks you up in the car, stone cold sober, goes, what the fuck are you shouting for? Yes, it's the pitch of the adrenal. What happens is your posture gets used to it, so then as soon as you get the adrenal pitch of a physical confrontation, when you go back to the verbal, it joins in the same pitch. The point of the course is to get it so you're used to it, you get introduced to it, and the best way to describe it. The adrenal pitch, how the adrenal affects your physical technique, is the whole point of the seminar. Those responses were basic responses. None of them were really massively detailed. Probably the most detail you had was the rear naked choke. It's a basic rendering unconscious technique. Yeah, and none of them were heavy duty in a sense of you do a kick and you twirl. Everything you thought of self-defense moves would be, the 79 moves where you're like, I'd strike him and then I'd kick him and then I'd jump and twirl and I'll kick and then I'll tell his mom and then I'll kick both of them, and when his grandma comes I'll punch her and he comes in and I'll just do this because I've seen it on the telly, I'll crouch. Yes, that's complete bollocks. That's movie fighting. Stick it for the movies or just stick it, I don't care. Yeah? Stick to the basics and they'll keep you safer than a lot longer. Yes? Right, questions. Everyone's
What's the
good?
law of first punch?
Pardon?
What's the law? Like, say, like...
Oh, what's the law?
Because I was starting to judge and he said you can disable somebody in the first strike, but you can't go past that.
Yeah, right. In the realms of the law, the reason why we've done it in that fashion, you used a fencing line, you controlled the distancing. If a person is moving physically forward in a threatening manner, and that meaning not physical, doesn't have to be like, oh fuck, I should have done that first. It can be verbal. The fuck you look like, smash your face in that. At that point in time, you're allowed to make a preemption strike. The preemption strike is to quell or stop the attack. If you exceed that, you're liable. But to quell it meaning render the person unconscious, stop them from travelling forward, anything you want, preemption grapple, preemption strike, all in that realm. The only thing you do is if you can justify it to yourself, you could probably justify it to other people. What generally happens is, this is the same case scenario. He came over to us, and he went and he was like being really aggressive. I just fucking smacked him in the face. Once I smacked him in the face, fucking hit the deck, fucking stored on him. Fucking job done, job done. Fucking belt, yeah? Same incident. Person coming forward. I was in fear of my life. He's giving his verbals and he's rushing at us like. So I spun him round, put him in a rear naked choke, rendered him unconscious, and I was in fear of my life. I didn't know what else to do. I hope he's fine, yeah, and he'll be alright. It's the same incident. It's not what you say, it's what you do. Yeah, you're doing exactly the same thing. What you say is normally pitched on adrenal. Ask anybody that's just had a fight what happened, and there's graphic details, there's charts, there's people, and he done this, so I pulled it, and I done this, and I done that. It's what you say after the event. As long as you can justify it, you can do it. People, years in America, they made a thing of, I'm a trained martial artist, I'm a black belt, my hands are lethal weapons, I have a card, hold on a moment sir, I'll just get my card for you. The same as the 3 times I have to tell you I'm a trained martial artist. I'm a trained martial artist. I'm a trained martial artist. I'm still a trained martial artist. You bastard. I'm still a trained martial artist. Yeah. If they're moving forward in an aggressive action, you can do anything in your powers to quell their attack, as long as you can justify it in a court of law. But you don't wait for them. Preemptive jack is what they're trying to tell you not to do. You're supposed to be attacked, you make your special block and then you go in. At that point in time, you didn't see a special block because someone just spat at you and smacked you in the side of the head. Jodanuki didn't work. So it's what you do and say is important. But you can't be on the back foot. Can't get a second attempt at the first goal. If you don't go, they will. But as long as you can justify what you've done and before and after, it's fine. People will try and pull that apart and things like that. I've told people, I've rendered somebody unconscious in front of the Northumbria Chief of Police, and he was the one that told us to let him go. I choked him, he went unconscious, and he goes, what do you do that for? He goes, you let him go, I normally put him in recovery. So I choked him and let him go. And the police officer was in front of him at the time. He told us to let him go, I just done exactly what I was told. But like I say, in hindsight, I would have normally put him in recovery. He told us to let him go, not me. So in that sense, everything I'd done was justified. Saved me. I didn't hurt him. I can justify it to anybody. If you can't justify it, you probably shouldn't have been doing it. If you do a 75 move, cat on his head at that point in time, you probably can't justify that. Yeah, and I got the bat from the car, and yeah, you probably can't justify that. If you can't justify it, you've been going drinking in the wrong places. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
Anything else? Yes, no, maybe? Perfectly clear? Is mud? So, how many techniques did you do? You don't have to fully count them. Not many. How many techniques did you do that you didn't think you would do? Because it was socially unacceptable.
5.
Yeah? 4 or 5, 7, I've done 10 maybe. Yeah? That's the whole point. It's what you think is socially unacceptable is what everyone else does outside the realms of martial arts, boxing, kickboxing, because they're respectful people. People do the arts because they love the arts. People outside love drinking, taking drugs, smacking people that aren't ready, fighting people that couldn't fight, sleep. Yeah, because that's their weekend. Let's go get some chips. Yeah? They think that's the normal. When you take them out of that normal, they don't like it. Yeah? All I'm trying to do is get you safe. Yeah? Is that okay? Yeah. Come on. Thank you.